What's up, Amazon sellers? Are you just starting on Amazon and want to keep your costs low and want 3 months free of repricing software? And stay tuned. I'm going to explain how you can do this in this video today. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson, and I've been selling on Amazon now for the last 5 years doing online arbitrage. In the UK, I've done 7 figures, check this out, and in the USA, I've done 6 figures in the last 12 months, check this out, and hopefully in the near future, we're going to start on another marketplace. And if you're interested in learning how I've done it and what I'm learning as well, do make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Okay, so what am I going to go through in this video? Well, look, for me, I'm going to talk about the pros of doing this approach for number 1. Number 2, I'm going to talk about the cons of doing this approach. Then finally, chapter 3, I'm going to go on to the actual 6 repricing tools that you should try to get that 3 months free worth of repricing. Then I'll go into number 4, which is about Amazon's free repricer, and I'll talk a bit about that. Number 5, I'll talk about what are the metrics you should be measuring when you are thinking about comparing which repricer is better, what do I look at? And then finally, number 6, I'm going to talk about what repricer I use and why, and obviously whether you want to use that or not. We have links to all of them down below. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing first, let's talk through the pros of doing this approach. It saves money. That is what we're here to do. We're here to buy products and sell them. What we're not here to do is spend all the money we want to invest into our stock on products, on services, on tools. Yes, tools are great, but at the end of the day, it's not the tools which are going to make the money. It's the stock which we buy and sell for a profit. That makes the money. Now, for also as well, another pro behind this is it gives you a chance to try all the different repricers. There's lots of really good repricers out there, and I think you should try them. Why? Because some I like and some they just don't agree with me. And I think it's really important for you to really think about which one's going to work. And obviously by doing this approach, you get a really good range of repricers, try them, and then you get to choose the one that works for you. Now, this leads me nicely onto the cons of doing this approach. Quite simply, it takes time. Now, if you've got money, and I mean a lot of money to invest, then it might just be worthwhile sticking with one repricer, because that means you can spend less time kind of moving from one repricer to the other one, and obviously more time focusing. But most people generally don't have a lot of money to start with. They're starting with a low budget. So what does that mean? If you generally got more time free than you have money, i.e. you keep spending all the money and you've got a bit more time free, then doing this approach is really, really useful. And my top tip is if you're starting with anything less than about £1,000, £2,000 or dollars, then this approach is probably really going to work well. Why? Because you're saving money on repricing tools, saving money that you can spend, but also in addition to that, you can trial the repricer and find out which one works best for you. And obviously, if it is the expensive one you want to know, see if it works, or perhaps maybe a cheaper one's going to work. Obviously, that'll get by until maybe you're making more money, but it just allows you to understand. Now, this leads me nicely onto my 3rd chapter, which is really about what are the tools, the repricers that you should try to get the 3 months free. So let's jump into it now. So the first one to think about is BeCool. Now, BeCool offer a 15-day free trial, so you can get the link down below and check that. That's going to be helpful. Then next, what I'd really recommend for you is try Repricer. This has got a 15-day free trial. I used to use this repricer. It's a good repricer. It works. It's probably one of the most popular ones, and it certainly works, and you can try it for 15 days. Then I'd really recommend try Aurora. Now, people talk about this as like it's got AI and it does lots of stuff. For me, I personally don't buy into that, but it's completely up to you. And if you want to try that, link down below, another 14-day free trial. Then what I'd really recommend is look at informed.co. They're doing another 14-day free trial. You can check them out and see how they're working on your sales. Then the last 2 I'd really recommend moving into is Seller Dynamics, it's 14 days, and then finally sellerengine.com. Now, these are all going to offer 14-day free trials, and then stack them up, and you've basically got 3 months free trials, which is fantastic, and that's really going to help you. Okay, so this leads me nicely onto the 4th chapter, which is Amazon's free repricer. Now, look, Amazon have got a free repricer, which you can absolutely use, and it might be worth trying out, see if you want to use it. And it can be great if you're getting started, but there is a problem with it that I personally don't like, and there's a reason why I don't use it. And the very fundamental reason is it doesn't reprice up. Now, you might be like, what does that mean? And then let's say, for example, because you're competing, you're $12, someone else comes in, they're $12, and then you kind of go down, and you sit at $10, and that's where the market stays. Fine. But what if this guy disappears, and you're still at $10, and the next guy on the buy box is at like $14? Well, Amazon doesn't go up, so it doesn't make me any more money. I stay at $10, which is really frustrating because there's more money to be made. Now, for me personally, I always think that Amazon is really wanting to make sales. They want the customer to have a great experience. And you know what? I play second fiddle to that. I play second fiddle to customer and to Amazon themselves. And the net result is that while their pricer might be okay, it's really not got my interest in mind. And that's why I prefer to use a third-party repricer rather than my Amazon, because a third-party repricer, like the ones I just said, they care about me. That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to maximize my profits. And if I make more profit, I will love them and stick with them for longer. So that's good. What I'll do now is quickly jump on the computer and I'll show you Amazon's free repricer. And I'll show you kind of the settings as well if you're interested in looking at that. Okay, so here we are in Seller Central. And what you want to do is just come up to here and you want to go down to pricing and automate pricing. Now that's going to load you into here, and really what you'll do is create a customized pricing rule, and I'll look at that and show you. So we'll just call it here, we'll just type in like test 2, for example, and you can select one. They have standardized ones, but I'll just create one, so that's fine. What do you want to name this rule? And I'm going to write here, based on sales units, external, competitive buy box. So let's do that. Proceed to marketplace selection, and I'm going to choose one, so like UK, for example. And then it's going to allow me to kind of play with it, define the rule parameters. So you can see here, like, which pricing action do you want Amazon to take? I can talk about like match buy box, stay below, stay above, fine. I can do like kind of pounds or percentage, for example. I think that drops down, yeah, percentage. Which offers do you want Amazon to compete against? So before, you used to not be able to compete versus like different types of offers. So I could do like same fulfillment. So I can do like all Amazon offers or Pacific type of offers or offers with only third-party sellers. So I can do that. That's absolutely fine. And then do you want to compare with other prices outside of Amazon, which is really interesting. So it means like Amazon is comparing prices that would be like Walmart or Argos, for example, which I think is really crazy. And I'd probably say no, but like interesting enough, by default, it's going to compete not only versus like within Amazon's buy box. So if everyone is at £12 or $12, but like Walmart or Argos are at 10, it'll put me down to 10. So it really doesn't interest in mine. It's trying to make Amazon seem price competitive at my expense, which I'm like, no, like I can sell it at $11.99, win it on Amazon and make money. Hence why I'm not a big fan. And then do you want to continue repricing and update your price elsewhere in Seller Central? Yes, continue repricing, no, pause repricing. So kind of you can see there. So really for me, like I personally don't like that because of the rules behind it. Now, this leads me nicely onto my 5th chapter, which is what should you be measuring when you're comparing reprices? So for me, when I'm personally looking at one repricer versus another one, what I'm going to be looking at, well, I'll be looking at individual products and seeing how they perform versus the competition on that ASIN, kind of jumping in, having a look, like going, hey, why am I not winning the buy box? Why are they? And I'll be asking their support. I think that's really important, like being able to get questions, because you've got to set the reprices up right. And maybe if you set them up wrong, then you need to jump on support and get quick feedback answers. A lot of them have like chat support, and that's something that I really look at. I don't want to wait 1 or 2 days. My God, that's missed sales. I want to have a chat support, get it fixed there and then. Now, the other one which I really look at, which is more holistically across my entire business, is I'm really going to be looking at my ROI, or if in US, a lot of people look at margin for the time period that I'm running that, should we say, repricer. So I might use repricer 1, get a 12% ROI, and then repricer 2 might get me a 15% ROI, and that'd be like, cool, well, I'm quite happy with that one. I'm getting a higher return on my investment or higher margin, happy. And then the other one I might look at more of a long-term metric is just seeing how my inventory ages. So what does that mean? Well, I'm seeing that sometimes it's easier to stop selling the bad ROI items and then just sell the good ones. It looks better, but what you do is you end up with lots of stock just sat in Amazon. So I'm always going to be looking at like how much stock, or should we say, is moving, and how do I measure that? Well, I'll go again back into Seller Central. I would go to inventory management, and I'd look at inventory performance. And there's something called days in inventory, and that will just tell me how fast my stock is moving. So I'd probably take a snapshot of it every week, just get an idea of how fast it's moving and see those two numbers, ROI or margin and days in inventory, or you can look at turns, the same thing. So that kind of gives you an idea. Now, one thing you might be asking is, how do I measure like profitability, ROI overall, even if you're especially getting started? Well, doing this, you're going to need something like a profit tracking software. And one of the profit tracking softwares that I'd probably recommend to get started with is Sellerboard or STK. Now, quite simply, if you are interested, Sellerboard and STK are both profit tracking softwares. And what I'll do is I'll drop a link down below to Sellerboard, which gives you a 2-month free trial with my affiliate link as opposed to 1 month when you go direct. And what that will do is it will tell you what your ROI or margin is per product and what it is overall. And you can watch that every week for each repricing software and see which one works better for your business. Now that leads me finally onto my 6th chapter. That is, what repricer do I use and why? Well, quite simply, I've tried many repricers and I think they're good, but the one tool that I do use is called Seller Toolkit, or STK. Now, the reason why I use this is because it's a profit and loss software like Sellerboard. It's also a stock reclaiming software. It's a inventory inventory management software as well, and also as well it's a repricing software, and it has automations and rules. And for me, I really just like the fact that it's an all-in-one solution. Very simple, very easy to use, and it's not expensive as well. And I really do like the fact that it has the stock reclaiming side. In regards to the repricing side, the reason why I like it is it has automations in regards to, you can move from one rule to another rule after a set period of time. So if maybe like matching the buy box is not working after like 2 weeks or 1 month, I can move to maybe a more aggressive rule and start getting my stock selling. And that's what I'm interested in. And that's what I really like in it, the automations, but also there's a lot of other things that I really enjoy about it. Now, if you are interested in Seller Toolkit, you can get a free 14-day trial, and I'll drop that down below. So do check that out. I think it's really good. But what I will add in there is that if you want the repricing, you will have to pay for that. It's about £35 per month. That gives you the, should we say, the reclaims as well, which I do really like. But I think it's a good tool. I think it's worth it. And you know what I say? I've given you lots of, should we say, links now to repricing software and even P&L software. My God, there's a lot of free trials. Use all the free trials, see it, find out, see what you like, and obviously choose that. Don't necessarily do it because I'm doing it. Do what works for you and your business and what you like. Okay, so repricing is super important for your Amazon business, but you know what's more important than repricing? Finding the right products. And do you know how to find the right products? We need the right suppliers. So what I want to do around here is I'm going to drop a link around here to my top 100 stores for the US. Check that out. That is going to give you all the top suppliers that I've got for my Amazon business. We also have one top 100 suppliers for the UK. Search that in the channel if you're interested. But that's really going to give you the right place to find products to sell to use these new repricers with. What I will say is hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.